You do?
Yeah.
Do you admire me, or are you excited to find that Julia is free to date other guys?
You can't stop me.
Actually, I can.
I will run right through you, Mike Big.
You're one of my best friends. I have no interest in dating a girl you just broke up with. Huge lie.
Let's cruise past a nightclub with the windows down and tell everybody we're Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You're kidding.
Do you remember? Proud Mary? But left a good job for the city.
Hey, where's the John?
Gabe. Hey, Harry, how's it going?
Never better. I'm gay.
I'm gonna enjoy this party more than anybody.
Did you hear about the time Reno Wilson almost went to ground zero? From living in his car to stealing scenes in Hollywood, this man's journey will have you gasping 1 minute and cheering the next. You know him as Officer Carl McMillan from Mike and Molly. And Bobby Hill from Good Girls.
We're not bad people, Stan.
No, baby, we're good people who do bad things.
But there's so much more to this man's story than what you've seen on screen. Born Roy Wilson on January 20th, 1970 in Brooklyn, New York, from the West Indies, our man Reno came into this world with performing in his blood. Growing up with 3 sisters, Marie, Patricia, and Yolanda, and raised by Shirley and Roy Wilson in the concrete jungle of NYC in the 70s, wasn't easy, but young Roy had dreams bigger than the Brooklyn Bridge. His mama, who was an opera singer, saw that spark early on and encouraged him to pursue acting, even when money was tight and opportunities were slim. As a young black boy with Hollywood aspirations, Reno faced the typical struggles: limited roles, stereotyped characters, and an industry that wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for people who looked like him. But what makes Reno different is how he managed to turn those obstacles into stepping stones. By the time he hit his teens, Reno was already hustling for auditions, taking acting classes, and laying the groundwork for what would become a decades-long career in an industry known for chewing up and spitting out even the most talented performers. Reno's first major break came when he landed a role in The Cosby Show.
I need to ask you guys a question.
As Howard, Theo Huxtable's friend. Now, here's where things get interesting. While some sources mix up his early appearances, what's undeniable is that Reno was making moves in an era when black actors were fighting for every inch of screen time they could get. He continued building his resume with appearances on shows like NYPD Blue.
New York City detectives. Did you get shot over on Sullivan Street?
Yeah, 2 white guys, they shot me and the other guy.
And The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Howard, I'll see you at the library tonight.
All right, I'll be there. Good luck on your chem test.
But y'all, the road wasn't smooth. There were seasons, and I mean seasons, where the phone just wasn't ringing. Industry insiders whisper about how Reno almost walked away from it all during the mid-90s when roles dried up faster than a puddle in the desert. Let me tell you something most folks don't know. There was a period when Reno Wilson was living out of his car. That's right, this man who would later star alongside Melissa McCarthy was once counting pennies to buy fast food and showering at the gym. During this time, rumors swirled that he had fallen out with several influential directors after speaking his mind a bit too freely about the treatment of black actors on set. Now, Reno doesn't talk about this much in interviews, but sources close to him say there was a particularly heated argument with a big-name producer who told him to just be grateful for stereotypical roles. Apparently, Reno fired back that he'd rather starve than feed stereotypes, and for a while, it looked like the industry was going to make him do just that. But if there's one thing you need to know about Reno Wilson, it's that the man does not stay down. While struggling to land acting gigs, he discovered another talent: voice acting. Those smooth, versatile vocals became his secret weapon, and soon he was booking voice work that kept the lights on while he continued pursuing on-camera roles. The comeback started slow. A guest spot here, a small role there. But Reno was rebuilding his reputation, not just as talented, but as professional. The whispers about him being difficult began to fade as directors discovered what viewers would later come to know. Reno Wilson brings something special to every character he plays. When Mike and Molly came calling in 2010, Reno was ready. As Officer Carl McMillan, he finally had the platform to showcase his comedic timing and emotional depth. For 6 seasons, he brought heart and humor to the role, building chemistry with his cast castmates that made the show a hit. But success brought its own challenges. Word has it that behind the scenes, there were tensions over pay disparity. As a supporting actor on a hit show, Reno was reportedly making significantly less than some of his co-stars despite having comparable screen time. Industry sources say he pushed for better compensation during later seasons, causing some uncomfortable moments in contract negotiations. Through the ups and downs of his career, Reno has had one constant: his wife, Coco Fozone. They've been married since 1998, and that's basically a century in Hollywood years. Together, they have 2 children, Denny and Renzo, and unlike many celebrity parents, Reno has kept his kids largely out of the spotlight. But that doesn't mean family life has been without drama. Reno once hinted in an interview that his rise to fame created tension with some extended family members who suddenly wanted a piece of his success. When you start making real money in this business, you find out who really loves you and who loves what you can do for them, he said, leaving fans to read between the lines. What many fans don't know is that during the filming of later seasons of Mike and Molly, Reno was quietly dealing with a health crisis. He's been private about the specific details, but close friends revealed he was diagnosed with a condition that required regular medical treatment and occasionally affected his ability to work long hours on set. Rather than use this as an excuse, Reno pushed through, sometimes filming scenes while in considerable pain. His castmates were aware of his struggles, with Melissa McCarthy reportedly advocating for schedule adjustments to accommodate his treatment needs. While most recognize Reno from his on-screen roles, true fans know he's built an impressive career as a voice actor. His work on the Transformers franchise as the voice of Mudflap, Brains, and Mohawk
This is not legal. This is illegal experimentation.
introduced him to a whole new audience. But this part of his career hasn't been without controversy either. His voice characterization of Mudflap in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen drew criticism from some viewers who felt the character relied on racial stereotypes. Reno defended his performance, explaining that he was trying to bring personality to the character within the constraints of the script. But the experience reportedly left him more cautious about which voice roles he would accept in the future. When Reno joined the cast of NBC's Good Girls as Stanley Hill,
But I could also get the cookie dough out the fridge too, though. Do it.
he entered what many consider the second prime of his career. Playing the criminal side hustle running husband to Retta's character, Reno got to show a different side of his acting abilities. The cast chemistry was electric, but behind-the-scenes gossip suggests there were creative tensions over how the show should develop. Some insiders claim Reno advocated for his character to have more complex storylines, causing occasional friction in the writer's room. Despite his long career, Reno's financial journey hasn't been all champagne and red carpets. While his estimated net worth now sits around $1 million, there was a time when he filed for bankruptcy protection, a fact that rarely makes it into official bios. This financial setback reportedly came after investing heavily in a friend's restaurant venture that went belly up faster than you can say, "Check, please." The experience taught him valuable lessons about money management and trusting the wrong business partners, lessons he now shares with younger actors when mentoring them. Today, Reno continues to work steadily, balancing acting with voice work and exploring opportunities behind the camera. He's developed several projects that focus on authentic Black stories, though he's faced the typical Hollywood resistance to greenlighting projects led by Black creators. He went on further to project his wonderful voice as Louis Armstrong in Bolden, a multi-talented king I stan. He stars in a recently released Paramount series, Dexter: Original Sin, as Detective Bobby Wyatt. His estimated net worth of around $1 million might seem modest by Hollywood standards, but considering where he started and the obstacles he's overcome, it represents a triumph of persistence over adversity. From Brooklyn dreams to Hollywood realities, Reno Wilson's journey reminds us that success isn't just about talent, it's about resilience. Through industry racism, health challenges, financial setbacks, and family drama, he's remained standing, continuing to build a career that's as diverse as it is impressive. So the next time you see Reno lighting up your screen with that signature smile, remember, behind those laughs is a man who's been through the fire and emerged not just unburned, but glowing brighter than ever. That's the real Reno Wilson story. Not just survival, but triumph. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Drop a comment below with which star you want us to profile next.